Okay, for those of you riding the struggle bus, okay, here's how it goes. 250 x 7th y 9th, okay. Rewrite it to the 1/3 power. You got 250 times x 7 times y 9th. So you got 250 times x times y. That'd be to the 1/3. 7 times 1/3 is 2 1/3. I'm not gonna, when I go over this, I'm not gonna use that. 9 times 1/3 is 3. Okay, can you do anything about the 250 to the 1/3 right away? Well, 250 is not here, so no. X to the 2 2/3, well, I can bring the x to the 2 over. Can't do anything about the 1/3 yet. Y thirds brought over. That just goes away. So what do you do with your 1/3? You make cubed roots and you take 250. If it's to the first, just put 250 and then x. So we got x second, y the third, and then the radical x, but then I need to see if I can simplify the cubed root of 250. You can, because it divides by 125. 125 and 2. Okay, so 5 in front, 2 right there. Okay, next problem. We've got the 4th root of 16, x to the 12th, y to the 3rd. So 1/4 power, you got 16 times x times y. So 1 times 1/4 is 1/4. They're all, so 12, my bad. 3 times 1/4 is 3, okay? 3 times 1/4 is 3/4. Can you do anything about the 4th root of 16 right away? Actually, we can, because that equals 2 to the 1st. So I bring over the 2 to the 1st. X third, bring him over. Can't do much about the y to the 3/4. Okay, so we make a 4th root and we put y to the 3rd. 2 to the first 2, x third, 4th root, y third. Okay, next up we got the cubed root of 9y to the 12th times the cubed root of 24y. So I make one parentheses. You only need one because the radicals are the same. And then you take 9 times 24. Okay, 216. Then y to the 2nd times y is y to the 3rd. Okay. Okay, 1 times 1/3 is 1/3, and 3 times 1/3 is 1. Okay, can you do anything about the cubed root of 16? Oh, yes, you can, because that equals 6, so it would be 6 to the power of 1. Bring it over. Same with the y. So it's just, there will be no radical, it's just 6y. Okay, you've got the square root, the square root of 3 times the cubed root of 3. Okay, you're going to need 2 separate parentheses here with a 1/2 and a 1/3. 3. Now you are going to combine the 3's. You're multiplying, so you're going to add the powers. 1/2 plus 1/3. 1/2 plus 1/3 is 5/6. Okay, so I don't even have 6 roots, so you probably can't do a great deal about that. So make a 6th root, and you put 3 to the 5th. Make a 6th root. And then 3 to the 5th. Make a 6th root. We need to see if that simplifies. So I find what 3 to the 5th actually is first. 243. If I don't even have a 6th root, you can just put it in the radical. Don't try to divide when I don't have that list. Okay, next one. Same idea on the next one. You have a division. And you got 2, you got 3. So x to the 2nd, x to the 7th, and x to the 2nd. Okay, this time you're dividing. It's the same idea though. 1/2, 1/3. x7, x2. Okay, 7 times 1/2 is 3 1/2, and then we're going to subtract 2/3. Okay, so I go 3 1/2. I've showed you the calculator. You can find how to do the mixed number calculator. Just go to the first link when you do that, 3. That's beautiful. Okay, don't have to do much else. Wait a second, I do that right? No, I did that completely wrong. I was going to say that didn't seem right. Got 2 and 5, 6. X is to the 2 and 5, 6 power. So you take your x2 over, okay, x2, and then you make a 6th root with x to the 5th. There's not much else we can do about that. Okay, so x to the 2nd, so 6th root, x to the 5th. Okay. Okay, number 6, we got 625 to the negative 3/4 power, okay? So you can make your lines right away. You don't have to rewrite the problem. There's no radical. 625, and then 1 times negative 3/4 is negative 3/4, but you need to rewrite it because you need negatives on the bottom. So see if you can just get rid of the 4 right away. See if that, you can, because that's 5, but it's 5 to the 3rd. So 5 to the 3rd. And 5 to the 3rd is 125. So 1/125. Okay, next one. X to the power 1/3 times x to the power of 1/5. Okay, you got 2 x's. You can just add the powers, 1/3 plus 1/5. Use the fraction calculator. Okay, I got 8 over 15. Well, obviously I can't do much about a 15th on the bottom, so I make a 15th root and put x to the 8. There ain't no simplifying to that. Okay, there you go. Okay, number 8. This one can be the hard one. 16 x to the 15th, y to the 8th, over 81 x second, y 16th, 3/4 power. One times 3/4 is 3/4. 1 times 3/4 is 3/4. Okay, you got 2 x's, you're going to minus the exponents, okay, because you're dividing. So 15 times 3/4. 11 1/4, yeesh. Then 2 times 3/4. 1 1/2, so I need to subtract 1 1/4 minus 1 1/2. 11 1/4 minus 1 1/2. Okay, you got 9 3/4. So x to the 9 3/4. Okay, then on your y, 8 times 3/4 is 6, and 16 times 3/4 is 12. You don't know I'm doing that in my head. I'm just taking 16 times 3, 48, dividing it by 4. So that's a negative 6. You need to rewrite it because you don't want that negative exponent. So 16 to the 3/4. 18 to the 81, my bad, 81 to the 3/4, x to the 9 3/4, and then y to the 6th. Now, see if you can simplify some of these on the spot, like the 4th root of 16, that's here, it's 2, so it would be 2 to the 3rd, bring that over. X to the 9th can be brought over. X to the 3/4 cannot. That will need a radical 4 with an x to the 3rd inside. Okay. 81. See if 81's in the 4th root. It is. It's 3. So it's 3 to the 3rd. Then y to the 6th we can just brought over. There's still that fraction I couldn't do anything about, so I make a 4th root with x to the 3rd. Then 2 to the 3rd's 8. Times x to the 9th, and then the 4th root of x to the 3rd. 3 to the 3rd's 27 times y to the 6th. Okay, number 9. You've got the square root of x divided by the square root of 6. Okay, so first you're going to rewrite that. And you just need one parentheses because they're both common radical. So x and 6. Okay, both those go to the half power. So 1/2. Okay, well, I can't do much about the x or the 6, but I cannot have this fraction on the bottom, so I need to add. What do you add to 1/2 to get 1? What do you add, what do you add to 1 to get to 2? Probably another 1, okay? Now, when you do that, you need to write times 6 with the exponent you just brought in, because that's what you're doing, okay? So 1/2 times 1/2 is 1, okay? So 6 to the first just brought over. Now, we said we couldn't do anything about these fractions here right away, so we make a radical with 2, and we got x to the first times 6 to the first. So 6 to the first is 6, and then my radical, you're going to have x for sure. Square root of 6 to the first is 6, but you really can't do much with the square root of 6 as far as dividing and bringing things outside, so that is going to be the answer. Okay, game change. 4 square root 3y plus 10 square root 3y. This is number 10, okay? Okay, adding, you just make sure you have the common part. Yep, you got the same thing, so you're gold. 4 plus 10 is 14. 14 square root 3y. It'd be a 2 if you're entering it in on a spreadsheet. Or not a spreadsheet, a Google Doc. Number 11, you got 3 square root 20 plus 8 square root 45 minus 4 square root 5. Again, none of these are the same. You need to orchestrate a chart to get them the same. You can't do adding and subtracting operations unless your radicals are the same. You need to drop the 8. You don't just get to forget about it. And 20, these are square roots, divides by 4. 20 divided by 4 is 5. So that's 2. So that's 16 radical 5. Okay, plus 8 square root 45. You got it. You can't forget about the 8. So 45 divides by 9. That's 5. So that's 3. 8 times 3 is 24 square root 5. Then square root 5 itself can't be simplified. So 40 minus 4 is 36. 36 square roots of 5. Okay, number 12, I see a FOIL coming on. You got 5 plus 3 square root 27 times 4 plus 2 square root 3. Okay, FOIL that. So, oh no, don't FOIL it yet. You need to see if these square root radicals simplify. Square root of 3 isn't gonna, but let's 27, there's a good possibility. 27 divides by 9, okay? So 27 divided by 9 is actually 3. Then you kind of get a 3s are wild here because that's 9 with the square root of 3. Okay, so 5 times 4, 5 times 2 square root 3, 9 square root 3 times 4, and then 9 square root 3 times 2 square root 3. 5 times 4 is 20. 5 times 2 is 10 with square root of 3. 9 times 4 is 36 with square root of 3. 9 times 2 is 18 with square root of 9. Now the square root of 9, again, you got to rewrite that because square root of 9 is 3, and then 18 times 3 is 54. Then that allows me to just simplify it even more because I can add 20 to 54, and that's 74. And the 10 and the 36 would be 46 square root 3. Okay, next one, we're solving equations for x. Okay, we've got square root 2x plus 6 plus 3 equals 21. First off, look outside the radical, you see a plus 3. Minus 3 takes us to 18. This is going to be a big answer. Okay. Now we get rid of the radical. It's a 2, so we take both sides to the second power. Okay, so it'd be 2x plus 6. Then 18 times 18 is 324. Then we subtract 6. That'd take me to 318. Then I divide by 2, and that's going to be 159. Okay, number 14. We've got square root x plus 6 equals x plus 4. Nothing outside the square root, so you can go ahead and get rid of the radical with the second power. This side we just have x plus 6. This side we did not have a cancellation, okay? So we need to make a FOIL. It's x plus 4 times x plus 4. X times x, x times 4, 4 times x, and 4 times 4. So that's x squared, that's 4x, 4x, and 16. Well, that combines to make 8x, so on this side we have x squared plus 8x plus 16. Now we have a quadratic equation, but we need to get one side equal to 0. Right there looks good. So minus 1x from 8x, minus 6 from 16. Okay, 1x squared plus 7x plus 10 equals 0. GCF would be just 1, so I just go to my table. 1 times 10 is 10, okay? So negative, negative, and we're trying to add to get to plus 7. Well, it ain't 1 and 10. Plus, plus, good. Okay, A is 1, so it'd be x plus 2, x plus 5. So set each of those equal to 0, and you're going to get negative 2 and negative 5 because you'd subtract them both from 0. Okay, 15, number 15, we have 4 times 3x minus 3 to the power of 2/3 equals 36. We need q. 4q to the 2/3 power equals 36. Now that's 2 is what the power is, the part of the power you look at, and it's even, so again you're going to need both sides. So 3x minus 3. Then you're going to divide by 4. That takes you to 9. Now I can get rid of this power if I take the other side to the reciprocal power and flip it. So see if you can get rid of the square root of 9. You can, that's 3. So it's 3 to the 3rd though, not just 3, okay? That's 27, so q equals 27. And negative 27. So add 3, that's 30. Divide by 3, you get 10. Then plus 3, negative 27 plus 3 is negative 24. Divide by 3, and that's negative 8.